Hey bro, you wanna go watch some UFC, bro? Hell yeah, bro, you know I wanna go watch some UFC, bro. You wanna go listen to some Winds of Plague, bro? Winds of Plague? Hell yeah, bro. Don't they have a new album out, bro? Damn right they have a new album out, bro. It's called Winds of Plague Against the World. It's a 2011 release. Cover Killer Nation here. 2011 has not left me a lot to complain about. But here I am again. And here we go again. Winds of Plague Against the World is pretty bad. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to come clean. I've never been big on these guys. They have not impressed me a single bit ever since their inception. So, going into this, I shouldn't have wanted to touch this. I shouldn't have wanted to review this. I shouldn't have wanted to do this. Mainly because I would have been biased. However, I decided I was going to put all of that behind me, and I was going to look at this in a fair, unbiased, completely mutual, right down the middle perspective. That way, everybody could be happy, and I could feel accomplished. Well, fuck accomplishment, because I sure as fuck couldn't do it. This is pretty terrible. This is probably one of the worst albums I've heard of the year, if not the worst. But I'll tell you one thing, it's definitely better than that Bodum record. No, it's not. It's worse than the Bodum record. I would take the Bodum record 75,000 times over this. This is just really, really poor and pathetic. And the thing of it is that the concept itself really seemed like it would be a pretty good idea. Adding symphonic elements to deathcore is actually something that should give deathcore a little bit more of an identity. It's something that should make Winds of Plague really stand out, which, in a way, it does. Don't get me wrong. They definitely do stand out aside from the rest of the deathcore crowd. The real problem with it is that there's nothing all that original about it. It's not something that really strikes me as all that necessary. They could easily just incorporate themselves as a regular deathcore act with all the symphonic crap that, or without all of the symphonic crap that they throw in there, and I'd probably have the same feeling for them. I guess what I'm saying is that the additive of symphonic work or symphonic stuff, whatever, in this particular record and with this particular band does nothing for me. It doesn't tit-or-tat me at all, whatsoever. Here's another thing that really should have worked out well for these guys. The fact that they had multiple members of other bands come on in and put in their 2 cents. Jamie Justa from Hatebreed, the guy from For Today, and the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior. Don't know who the Ultimate Warrior is? Wow, you're pretty young. Ultimate Warrior was a wrestler that was around in the late 1980s and the early 1990s in the WWE. Was very popular. And whenever I saw this, I actually thought to myself, sweet, this is going to be awesome. But then again, I should have remembered the Randy Savage rap album, because this was on par with that. Even though it was just a spoken word real intro, it was done so lacklusterly, should I say, that it just was, it was dull. It was unimpressive. It did nothing for me. Not to mention it seemed really kind of hokey. I mean, I like the Warrior. I always really enjoyed the Ultimate Warrior, but this was just done kind of in a way that didn't impress me a bit. It actually kind of ruined a lot of my feelings and perceptions toward the man. But that'll pass. That'll pass. This album won't. The breakdowns are just standard breakdowns. Here's the problem with deathcore. You really get trapped into a corner. A breakdown is a breakdown. Let's face it. Let's face the basic anatomy of this fucking genre. A breakdown is a breakdown. There's going to be very little in the way of any sort of differentiation between a breakdown and a breakdown, except for maybe a key, except for maybe a chord, except for maybe where it came from over here and how it goes to over here. But the point is that the breakdown is a breakdown. That's all that it is. It has the same singular focus, same singular purpose, and whenever you have to hear it constantly, over and over again, song after goddamn song, it just becomes repetitive, tiring, and fucking stupid. I'm just gonna say it again, repetitive, tiring, fucking stupid. Alright? Diversity is not a bad thing. Now, that said, the positive of this is that they're not terrible on their instruments. There is some pretty good guitar work for deathcore. The singing, it's deathcore. The symphonic elements, meh. I can't be unbiased about this because it's bad. And maybe that's the way that I'm being unbiased, because I'm being truthful. This is bad. This is not good music. I'm not a fan of the deathcore genre for the most part anyways. However, I've recently found some bands to really rally around. Bands such as Born of Osiris, bands such as Obscura that have that deathcore tag but also do other things. They also do other things. They're impressive with their virtuosity on their instruments. They don't do breakdowns every 15 seconds. They actually expand their horizons. But this is probably going to be one of the last times I ever review a deathcore album from a band like this. Mainly because if I hear more than 6 breakdowns in one album out of like 7 or 8 tracks, I'll just probably say fuck you. Winds of Plague Against the World is now turning into Cover Killer Nation Against the World because I know I'm about to get a ton of hate. And you know what? To be quite honest, I don't care. Because for one, my opinion is my opinion. And for two, my opinion's right.